Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Ben. How you guys doing today? What I have for you today in this video is I want to talk to you guys about Sony's smartphone business. Now, apparently, their smartphone business isn't doing as well as they would have liked. I mean, the numbers aren't just up par with like some of the top competitors out there. And according to the article that I read recently, which the link will be in the description below, I mean, Sony even admitted themselves, like the CEO Kaz Hirai admitted that they're going to make some alternative options in order to change this if the sales don't pick up next year. And they actually spoke too soon, in my opinion, and I even agreed with the article statement, because the article actually posted this as well, that they spoke too soon about how they're never going to leave the smartphone business. Yeah, that's a problem that shouldn't have been said, because they've sold their VAIO computer business because that wasn't doing well. And I mean, the same thing can happen again with the smartphone business. And if you guys think about it, you don't hear Sony too often as you would with Apple and Samsung. I mean, Sony does make nice products, but the thing is, I mean, nobody can afford their products because their prices are kind of high. I wouldn't say overpriced, because I mean there are multiple companies that overprice their products. Apple, Sony, and then there are other companies out there. But Sony makes a variety of products. They make TVs, cameras, phones, computers. Well, they used to make computers, but not anymore. They sold the business to a third party. But I mean, I use Sony products. I'm using this camera, which is a DSC H55. I'm looking at the Sony logo at it right now. I mean, it's still a good camera. It's not the best, but it's just a little point-and-shoot camera. Then I got my Sony VAIO computer right there. So it's like, and we have Sony TVs around the house, or actually, I think we have one right now. We got rid of a couple because they weren't working at some point. So I mean, it's like you don't hear Sony very often. And is there a slight chance that they could be dead and then maybe go bankrupt? I wouldn't go that far into thinking of it. I mean, there's no way they can shut down. No way. Because they're a company that has been running for a long time right now. Longer than Apple? I have no idea, because I have no idea when these companies first started and was first born. I mean, I never checked the dates on these. But here's the thing. I never followed through with the Sony smartphone business as well. When I pay attention to the smartphone business, I'm mostly paying attention to the top competitors, Apple and Samsung. Those are like actually my top two manufacturers that I would watch out for in terms of the smartphone business. I mean, because a lot of people buying iPhones, a lot of people buying Galaxy devices, and then I don't know how many people would go for a Motorola device and then the HTC device. Well, HTC, I know quite a lot of people will, but I'm always hearing Apple and Samsung all the time. So I'm assuming those are the top two competitors in the smartphone business, but I could be wrong. It could be something else. But Sony, I feel like, is not really a top competitor, although I have seen some of their smartphones and they are very nice looking, especially with their white products, very, very nice. But then again, you don't hear too many people owning a Sony product or saying, hey, I've heard of Sony smartphones, what do you guys think? And the Xperia phones, whatever the case may be, Ericsson. So it's like, is Sony starting to be dead? Me personally, I don't think so. They just have their own way in promoting their products and trying to sell it. And it looks like they're doing it the wrong way, where it's impacting them a lot negatively. I mean, like I said, how many of you guys actually hear people owning a Sony product? Like, do you hear that all the time? I mean, the one thing I can think of people saying is, oh yeah, I know tons of people that own Sony products. They own a Sony PlayStation 4 or PS4, PS3, PS Vita, PSP. I mean, yes, they're gaining market share, that definitely has a big advantage. Because there are tons of gamers out there who buy these consoles. And not all of them are PC gamers. They're most likely well, I think PC gaming is actually starting to get popular, but more popular than consoles. I have no idea. I gotta check the stats on those. But yeah, a lot of people own a PS4 or a PlayStation product in general. That's like the most common thing I've heard of Sony. But in terms of cameras, computers, TVs, not really. I mean, yes, I do have some family members that own Sony TVs, but I mean, that's pretty much what I hear in terms of like cameras, DVD players, or not even DVD players, Blu-ray players. I don't hear too much of Sony at all. Most of the time, I'm hearing of in the smartphone business, Apple and Samsung, along with HTC and Motorola. And if you want to talk about the printer or the print device industry, Canon. I mean, Canon and HP is what I hear most of the time. I mean, what else is there? Cameras? Okay, Canon. And of course Sony, but I don't know too many people who own Sony cameras. Nikon, Fujifilm. Fujifilm or Fujitsu? I forgot how it was. But, I mean, you don't hear Sony very often. At least I don't hear it very often, unless if I'm living under a rock. So, what do you guys think? Do you think their smartphone business is gonna hang with Sony forever, or are they gonna have to do the same thing they did with the VAIO business and sell it, or maybe get rid of it, or maybe just kill it? The worst thing they can do is kill the business, because then they're gonna lose everything. And they're going to lose all the profits that they made off of it. They might as well just try to sell it before they lose the business itself. Well, they're going to lose the business either way, but at least they'll be selling it versus just letting it die completely. It's like you own a retail store and then you go out of business like that and you just shut down, that's it. Versus trying to sell it to a different seller or to a different buyer and then let them try to run the business themselves and see if they can improve it. Either way, they'll lose, but you don't want to lose too much. So that's it. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, rate, comment. Also check out the description for my social media links, Twitter and Instagram. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.